What's up, everybody? Welcome to this video. It's going to be a banger for you, and I'm going to demonstrate some things for you that might just blow your mind. So what we're talking about today is how to not just get attention. Everybody says we're in a attention deficit economy thing. It's not about attention. But you know, what people miss is that it's not so much about just getting attention. It's about maintaining attention. And so I'm going to introduce you to a concept that we came up with years ago called attention generators. And they are going to be pattern interrupts, reframes, changes in what I do, but linguistically and tactically, I'll tell you this. We coach a lot of people on presentations, on speaking, on sales, all the different things. And a lot of times you have these people with really good content, but they're not able to maintain attention. So we will inject several of these frames, several of these tools into people's webinars, presentations, YouTube videos. And what happens is the attention and watch times go up. So now I'm introducing you to a concept inside of our Trust Trinity system. And if you don't know what that is, it's our formula on how we help out some of the biggest names in the industry. Jeremy Miner, Hermosi's Gym Launch. You know, when you see a lot of these big companies out there making a really big difference and getting a lot of attention, they have a certain way that they speak. And we've helped a lot of folks inject these frames and these language patterns into what they do. And so there's going to be some concepts to it, but also some tactics. Bottom line is this: if you get one thing today, it's this. What am I doing right now? These are priming statements that up the dopamine and now position what I'm about to say in a way that's going to get more intention and engagement. And so here's how we think about it inside of our Trust Trinity framework. We need to get people to trust into you, trust into your process and your product, but also build the buyer trust in themselves. We've been teaching this for a long time. I think our frameworks might be the most stolen in the industry at this point. Totally fine. If it helps you, I want you to use this. I'm going to give you some things that are really going to help you out now, because you need to be able to not just get attention, but maintain attention. So inside of the Trust Trinity process, the real genius is getting people to be sold on themselves. But here's what you need to realize before you even get people enrolled in you or your product: they need to be engaged. They need to be really in this place of trusting themselves and you and your offer. But here's what you got to get. Inside of our framework, we talk about ATA. And so if you're taking notes right now, write this down. A is attention, T is trust, and A is action again. So attention, trust, and action. Now, you want people to take action, but they're not going to take action unless there's trust, and you have all three types of trust before they even see the offer. But you're not going to get people to be able to pay attention to you long enough and build a relationship where you can have trust with them through your YouTube videos, through your webinar, through your stage presentation. Even if you have great content and they really like you, people have these TikTok brains now, like the attention span of a goldfish. And so we got to be able to get and maintain that attention long enough. Even if your content's not great, attention long enough will lead to more trust. And they say that on average, it takes about 7 hours of consumption before people take action and buy from you. So you want to get them to consuming that content, but they're not going to be able to consume that content and form a relationship with you if you're on stage or on video or webinar, whatever it is, unless you can get and maintain attention. So attention, it is key, but most people do it wrong. There's several techniques that we teach inside of our system: open loops, reframes. And these are things that you're doing with your content, things that you're doing in the framing of the content. But if you get one thing from this video, I want you to get this. Your audience will forgive you for many things. I've already flubbed in this video. I said a couple things that I was like, I might have said that differently. It's not about you being perfect, because even being too perfect isn't going to build trust. Your audience will forgive you for many things, but being boring is not one of them. You cannot bore people into buying. You've got to be able to engage them. And some of the science of it is this. If you and I were in a cave thousands of years ago, we were cavemen and cavewomen chilling, hanging out, and we heard some new sound. We heard something. Our survival is linked to that, so it would be forcing us to do what? To pay attention. And why we pay attention? Because anything that's moving could be seen as a threat. And it relates the same way to the nervous system of your audience. And so I'm not monotone in my talking. I'm doing things to change my voice, my inflection. And here's the thing. You got to learn how to really inject these attention generators into your presentation. Here's the thing. Bottom line. Here's what I mean. Or another layer to that, what we teach, and I might do another video on question control. It's asking lots of questions. Now, when you listen to me, or if you go through some of my stage presentations, you'll see oftentimes 40 to 50% of what I'm saying is phrased as a question. Now, why do I do that? Now, why is this so effective? Now, where do most people mess this up? Why don't other people do that? So I'm questioning my content and questioning the things that I say. And if you continue to question your content with the same questions that might be on your audience's mind, you continue to interrogate your content, the audience will no longer feel the need to. And so regardless of the psychology behind it, tactically, you want to ask more questions. You want to have more pattern interrupts, more changes in pace and tone. All of this creates movement. With priming statements and attention generators, what we do is we up the level of engagement and attention, and that will keep people hooked and connected to you longer. And so if you're interested in how you can inject more of these into your presentation, well, I think things are more caught than taught. And so if you want to catch on to some of the patterns that I'm doing and we map them out, I do challenges where I teach them to you, and I do webinars where I show you the entire Trust Trinity system. So if you're interested in that, go down below, click like, subscribe, you know what to do. But down below, there'll be a link down there with my upcoming challenge. We do a 3-day event. It's amazing. The guy that works with Robert Cialdini, side note, for that company was on my last masterclass that I did and said it was the best presentation on influence and demonstration of influence he had ever seen. There's a lot happening beneath the surface, even here right now. I want to teach you. I want to help you. I want to see that you're getting not just attention, but you're building trust with your market and you're making a lot of sales. That's how we move the world. That's how we move industries. And that's how we move people to act. If you want to know how to do this, go down below. But until the next time, keep getting attention and maintaining attention. That is the pathway to get people to trust you and to buy from you. Until the next one, take care.